You see it all the time. The athlete on the free throw line, sweating, hands shaking, the crowd screaming. And he misses. Not because he's weak, because he's obsessed. Obsessed with the win, the trophy, the validation, or the entrepreneur, working 18-hour days, chasing that valuation, that exit, that proof he's not a failure. And he burns out, crashes. Not because he didn't care enough, because he cared too much about the wrong thing, the outcome. Here's the brutal truth nobody tells you. Your obsession with winning is making you lose. Your death grip on the result is strangling your talent, your focus, your clarity. Think about it. When you're fixated on the outcome, that promotion, that closed deal, that perfect date, what happens? Your mind races. You imagine failure, humiliation. You play disaster movies on loop. That noise? That's your focus dying, your judgment crumbling. Seneca nailed it 2,000 years ago. We suffer more in imagination than in reality. Let that sink in. You're suffering? Right now? Most of it isn't real. It's a ghost story you're telling yourself. A horror movie about a future that doesn't exist. And here's the uncomfortable part they won't say in self-help books. Your attachment isn't passion. It's weakness. It's handing control of your peace, your performance, your damn self-worth to something outside you. Something you cannot command. Luck. Other people's opinions. Random chance. That promotion? Your boss's mood decides it. That deal? The market could crash tomorrow. That perfect date? She's a human being, not a trophy. You are trying to control the uncontrollable, and it's draining you, blinding you, making you choke. So ask yourself, is this obsession working? Or is it just torture, wasted energy, spinning wheels, suffering over ghosts? What if I told you your biggest weakness, that desperate need to control the result, could become your ultimate weapon? Not by trying harder, but by letting go. Strategically, cold-bloodedly, like a surgeon. Not of your ambition, but of your suffering. That's the detach move, and it starts by killing the ghosts. You just saw the trap. Obsession with outcomes strangles talent, suffering over ghosts. But if letting go sounds like surrender, like you're giving up on winning, you've been lied to. Detachment isn't weakness, it's not apathy, and it's definitely not quitting. Real detachment? It's the coldest, most strategic form of focus you can wield. It's caring intensely, but only about what you actually command. Think of a master archer. His entire being is consumed by the shot. The feel of the bow, the tension in the string, the alignment of his body, the breath he holds. Every ounce of skill, discipline, and will is channeled into that single moment of release. But once the arrow leaves the string, it's gone. Wind, gravity, luck, 1,000 things he can't control decide where it lands. The archer doesn't scream at the sky if it misses. He doesn't beg the wind. He analyzes his process. Was his stance perfect? His release clean? That's where his power lies. Not in the arrow's flight, but in the mastery of the shot. This is your blueprint. Your control isn't total. It never was. Trying to command the uncontrollable is like trying to fist-fight the ocean. You'll drown in frustration. So let's cut the world into 3 brutal categories. First, what you absolutely control. Your effort, your focus, your attitude, your values, your reactions, your decisions right now. This is your kingdom, your sovereignty. Second, what you influence but don't command. Your preparation, your strategy, your communication, your daily habits, your physical health. You steer this ship, but storms happen. Third, what you control. Exactly 0. The outcome, other people's opinions, past mistakes, luck, the market, traffic. your boss's mood, the judge's scorecard, whether she says yes or no. This territory, it's not yours. Obsessing over it is like handing a stranger the keys to your mind and saying, wreck it whenever you like. Detachment is locking those doors. It's the deliberate, cold-blooded prioritization of energy, redirecting every watt of your power from the chaotic noise outside, the promotions you might not get, the deals that might collapse, the wins that might slip away, back onto the only battlefield where victory is possible. Your choices, your actions, your standards. Right here, right now. This isn't Zen meditation. It's a tactical reassignment of energy. Stop wasting bullets on phantom targets. Aim where you can actually hit something. That's how you detach to win. Not by caring less, but by caring ruthlessly about the right thing. So now you know, detachment isn't surrender. It's sovereignty. Redirecting your energy from what you can't command to what you absolutely control. But here's where most men get it twisted. They think this is about becoming passive, stoic robots. Wrong. Dead wrong. Strategic detachment is your unfair advantage, your hidden edge. Let me show you exactly how letting go of outcomes makes you dominate in the real world. First weapon, laser focus. When your mind isn't screaming about promotions you might lose or deals that might collapse, something radical happens. The noise dies. The fog lifts. You see the target with terrifying clarity. This isn't theory. It's neuroscience. Obsession with outcomes floods your brain with cortisol. Fight or flight. Tunnel vision. You miss openings. You fumble details. But when you detach, you operate in the zone. Your effort, your preparation, your execution becomes pure. Surgical. Think of a sniper. His entire world is breath, crosshair, trigger squeeze. The wind, the distance? He factors them in, but he doesn't obsess. He trusts his training and executes. That's your move. Replace I must win with I will execute flawlessly. Make the process sacred, not the trophy. Second weapon, rational decisions under fire. When you're not emotionally hijacked by the need for a specific outcome, your judgment clears. Fast. Fear of failure distorts reality. It makes you chase bad deals, stay in toxic relationships, or freeze when you should strike. Detachment gives you the cold eyes of a strategist. Ask the killer question Seneca would ask. Will this outcome matter in 10 years? Most of the time, the answer is no. That humiliation you fear? Forgotten? That lost deal? A footnote. Suddenly, the right move becomes obvious. Not easy, obvious. You act from logic, not desperation. Third weapon, unbreakable resilience. Here's the brutal truth life teaches. You will fail. Markets crash. Injuries happen. People betray. Outcome obsession makes these setbacks soul-crushing, identity-level disasters. But strategic detachment, it transforms failure into fuel. The Stoics called it amor fati, the love of fate. Not some airy-fairy acceptance, a ruthless embrace. This happened. Good. What can I learn? How does this improve my strategy? Where is the hidden advantage? Think of the athlete who blows his knee. The loser obsesses over the lost season. The warrior studies game theory and rehab. He rebuilds smarter, stronger. He uses the forced pause to gain an edge he never would have seen while sprinting. Failure becomes intel, not identity. Fourth weapon, endless motivation. This is the holy grail, and outcome obsession is its poison. Chasing validation, trophies, likes, applause, is borrowed confidence. When the applause stops, your drive dies. You burn out. Or worse, you become a slave to the next hit. Detachment anchors your drive where it can't be stolen, in mastery itself, in the integrity of your effort, in the relentless pursuit of your standards. The mountain climber doesn't summit just for the photo. He climbs because the climb reveals who he is. That's sustainable fire. That's why the true craftsman keeps honing his skill long after he's rich. His worth isn't tied to the market's mood. It's forged in the work. These aren't philosophical niceties. They're the levers of real power. Focus sharp enough to cut through chaos. Judgment clear enough to act when others panic. Resilience that turns every blow into a stepping stone. And motivation that flows from an unshakable core. That's the anatomy of a winner who's mastered the detach move, not a passive spectator. A tactical warrior operating on a different level. Anatomy of a winner? Now here's how you build it. Tools, not theory, not philosophy. Tactical gear you deploy today to start detaching strategically and dominating. This isn't about thinking differently. It's about acting differently until your mindset has no choice but to follow. First tool, the effort armor. Before any high-stakes moment, the big meeting, the tough conversation, the competition, you arm yourself with truth. Repeat this like a mantra. I control my preparation. I control my focus. I control my attitude. The result is feedback, not my worth. This isn't affirmation fluff. It's a neural circuit breaker. It forces your brain off the outcome horror movie and back onto the only stage where you're the director. Your effort. Your execution. Right now. Second tool, the effort audit. Stop journaling feelings or tracking wins and losses like a scorekeeper. That keeps you chained to outcomes. Grab a notebook. Every night, ask 3 brutal questions. 1. Where did I give less than 100% focus today? Where did I coast? Be honest. No judgment, just data. 2. What did this reveal? What weakness did I see? What strength did I underuse? Again, data, not drama. 3. Based on this, what is the very next action under my control? Not a goal, an action. Email the client the proposal by 9 a.m. Run sprints tomorrow at 6, no excuses. Tell her the truth tonight. This audit does one ruthless thing. It shifts your entire measurement system from external results to internal integrity. Your worth gets tied to your effort, not the lottery of outcomes. Third tool, fear setting. The Stoics called it premeditatio malorum, premeditation of evils. We call it pulling the fangs from your worst fears. Here's how it works. Step 1. Name the beast. What's the absolute worst-case outcome you're obsessing over? I'll get fired. She'll say no. I'll fail publicly. Write it down. Step 2. Dissect it. If I get fired, what then? List the realistic consequences, not the nightmares. I'll need to find another job. My savings will take a hit. My ego will bruise. See it? Manageable, not apocalyptic. Step 3. Plan your countermove. If fired, I will update my resume Monday. I'll contact my network Tuesday. I'll cut discretionary spending Wednesday. This is the antidote to helplessness. You realize, even in the wreckage, you still have moves. Agency remains. Fear loses its power when you have a plan. Fourth tool, the 10-minute rule. After a loss, the rejected proposal, the failed pitch, the painful rejection, you are allowed to feel it, but not forever. Set a timer. 10 minutes. Rage. Grieve. Stare at the wall. Let the wave hit. But when that timer rings, it's over. Shift gears violently. Ask, what is the next physical action under my control? Not an emotion, an action. Schedule the follow-up call. Analyze the game footage. Hit the gym. This isn't repression, it's containment. It trains your mind that suffering has limits. Action is always waiting. These tools forge detachment in blood and sweat. Not by wishing for calm, but by redirecting your energy minute by minute, action by action, back onto your true battlefield. The effort, the focus, the next right move. Stop admiring the theory. Arm yourself and execute. Forget theory, forget philosophy. Let's talk blood and bone. Real men. Real stakes. Real domination through detachment. This isn't hypothetical. It's happening right now. First witness, Carlos, the founder. 2 years ago, obsessed with his startup's valuation, checking metrics hourly, pitching investors nonstop, chasing that unicorn dream, and burning out. Hard. His team hated him. His product suffered. Then he deployed the Detach move, stopped staring at the valuation phantom, shifted his entire focus to one brutal question. Are we solving a real pain point for real people better than anyone else? He doubled down on customer interviews, fired features users didn't crave, ignored vanity metrics, detached from the exit, attached to the craft. Result? Revenue didn't just grow, it exploded. Not because he stopped caring, because he started caring ruthlessly about the controllable, building something undeniable. Second witness, Darius, the fighter, blew his ACL 6 months before nationals. Outcome obsession screamed, "Your career is over. You're finished." Classic chokehold. Instead, Darius weaponized Amr Fati. The injury happened. Good. What can I control? He couldn't spar. So he became a tactician, studied opponents' fight tapes 4 hours a day, drilled visualization, mastered breath control, worked nutrition like a lab scientist, detached from the comeback narrative, attached to the daily rebuild. When he stepped back in the cage, he wasn't just healed, he was upgraded. Won not on raw power, on surgical precision forged in detachment. Third witness, Elias the artist, chasing viral fame, tailoring his work for algorithms, begging for likes, and hating every second. His art felt hollow. Then he detonated the outcome bomb, stopped creating for feeds, started creating for the fire in his gut, focused solely on mastering his technique, pushing his craft's edge, detached from applause, attached to integrity. Guess what? His tribe found him. Not a viral tsunami, a tidal wave of true fans who'd bleed for his work. Because authenticity, forged in detachment, is magnetic. See the pattern? Carlos detached from valuation and built value. Darius detached from the comeback and conquered. Elias detached from fame and found his faithful. These aren't saints. They're warriors who realize the scoreboard is a liar. True winning happens off-grid, in the relentless focus on effort, in the cold embrace of the process, in the refusal to let uncontrollables hijack their energy. They didn't just detach, they weaponized it. Their edge wasn't talent alone. It was the steel forged when you stop wrestling ghosts and start mastering the move right in front of you. That's where invincibility lives. Invincibility isn't magic. It's not luck. It lives where Carlos, Darius, and Elias found it. In the relentless focus on the move right in front of you. Not the scoreboard, not the applause, not the ghost stories. Marcus Aurelius faced plagues, betrayals, wars. He wrote, "The art of living is more like wrestling than dancing. Remember that. Dancing is performance, for an audience, for approval. Wrestling is raw, grounded, 2 bodies testing truth, no illusions. That's your life, your career, your relationships, your mission. You're not here to perform. You're here to wrestle reality, to pin chaos with effort, to submit distraction with focus, to break the hold of outcomes with strategic detachment. This is the ultimate edge, because now you know the weakness wasn't in your effort. It was in its direction. Wasted on uncontrollables, burned on ghosts. Today, that ends. Your mission, should you choose to dominate. The 3-day detachment protocol. Pick one battleground, one goal where outcome obsession chokes you. The promotion, the business deal, the fitness target, the relationship. For 3 days, Deploy these weapons. 1. Effort armor. Before any action, declare, I control my effort, my focus, my standards. The result is feedback, not my worth. 2. Effort audit. Each night ask, where did I control my focus? Where did I leak energy to ghosts? What's the next physical action? 3. Fear setting. Name the worst outcome. Dissect it. Plan your countermove. 4. The 10-minute rule. When setbacks hit, grieve hard for 10 minutes. Then shift violently to the next controlled action. At day 4, ask yourself, did pressure drop? Did clarity sharpen? Did action feel cleaner? That's your signal. The detach move is working. You're trading suffering for sovereignty, obsession for operation, ghosts for grounded progress. Now, engage. Drop a comment with one word. Your battlefield. Promotion. Startup. Fatherhood. Dating. Let's see where warriors are deploying this protocol. If this intel shifted your strategy, subscribe. Every week, we arm you with deeper tactical intel. No fluff, no theory. Just actionable weapons to detach from noise and dominate your arena. This isn't passive acceptance, it's aggressive reclamation of your focus, your energy, your peace, your power. Stop spectating your life. Step into the arena. Detach from noise, attach to effort, and wrestle reality on your terms. Go execute.